Okay, so what we're going to do in this tutorial is teach you a little bit about the shape tools. So we'll begin by clicking on ActionScript 3.0. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a short animation that will show how your Flash skills are progressing. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a banner title that will say Flash Skillometer. We're going to make a visual representation of your Flash skills. So what we're going to do is make sure that the rectangle tool is selected. So pick rectangle tool. Don't draw this, but what we're going to do is we're going to make a rectangle tool with curved in corners. So choose the rectangle tool, and then you're going to change the radius to -10, so it'll cut in the corners. You want to make sure that the fill color is a light color, so I'm going to maybe pick a nice green. It doesn't matter which color that you pick. And then I'm going to draw this at the top. So I'll have this cover the top part of my file. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to use the text tool. And I'm going to change the color to black. And I'll change this up to maybe 20 point. Just do a quick click test. Maybe I'll move this up to, you can also type in a number. I'll try 30 instead. That'll probably be good. Verdana is fine. Use any sans serif font. Make sure that it's bold. And then I'm going to type in Flash Skill meter. So this is going to indicate your level of skills with Flash. So I'm going to use the black pointer to move it into place. So I'll pop it up to the middle here so that that is more like my title. So try and get it about centered in that rectangle up at the top, and then we can design the graphical representation of your Flash skills. What we're going to do down on the timeline on layer 1, I'm going to call it title, and we're going to make a new layer, and we're going to call this Skillometer. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to have something fill until it becomes full. So what we're going to do is we're going to click and switch to, instead of oval, we're going to change this, change the oval repeatedly after we draw it. So instead I want you to go to Oval Primitive Tool. So click on Oval Primitive Tool. And then pick the fill color as red. What we're going to do is we're going to have a C-shaped meter go from 0 all the way around. So what we need to do is we need to pick an inner radius so that it will have a hole in the middle. I'll probably be adjusting that shortly. Now I can make this whatever shape I want, but if you hold Shift on the keyboard, it will make sure that it is a perfect circle. So we want to move this somewhere to the middle, and then we're going to make it so that it has a much larger hole in the middle. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to have it start with a very low amount, and then actually this is the end frame. We're going to have it fill at this amount. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the right handle, and we can change the start and end radius for this shape. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it very small, and then we're going to have it fill up. So the way we're going to do that is in the previous example you saw use of blank keyframes where you wanted to draw something completely new. In this we're going to use a keyframe. So command click, or you can hold down the mouse button for this. We're going to insert a keyframe instead of a blank keyframe. So you can see now both of these keyframes have this exact shape on them. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this to fill it a little bit each frame until it is completely full. You don't have to worry too much about this being exactly a certain amount each frame. However, if you wanted to do that, you could, I'll do this on the next frame, insert keyframe, click on it, and then you can use the start and end angle. The end angle is 0, and then the start angle is at 265. So you can use this to also change the radius here. So I'll just keep going. So keep going all the way around, and I'll show you the finished product. So what we have here is I've got 19 frames where the circle starts at almost nothing and then becomes full. So what we're going to need here is a few more frames, and what we're going to do is we're going to indicate that it is full. So I'm going to go to 20, so I'll insert a keyframe. What we want to do is we want to have the word full in the middle flash a couple times. So we're going to use the text tool, and hopefully this will fit in the middle. I'll keep the color as red. So I'll just pop this in the middle. You can use the cursors on the keyboard to fine-tune where this actually goes. And what I want you to do is create some extra keyframes afterwards. The keyframes will just be duplicates of what we've already got. So I'll right-click or command-click. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to have this flash, so on alternating keyframes. So I've got 20, it says full. On 21, I'm going to delete that. On 22, I'm going to keep it. On 23, I'm going to delete the word full. And then we'll leave it on for 24. So I'll play this. Now it's still a little fast, so as we know, I can change the frames per second rate down to about, try 7, then play it again. So we have that fill, and then it will say full. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to have the flash skillometer. It's going to change colors, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So click on the title, and there's a cool trick to change this into the individual letters that we see. So what you're going to do is go to the Modify menu and click on Break Apart. What's going to do is it's going to break each of those letters into individual letter objects. So if I click on the F, it's a drawing object. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have you change, go to Frame Tune, you're going to insert a keyframe there so that we've got two identical frames. And on frame 1, what you're going to do is you can hold Shift if you want. We're going to select every other letter. I'm going to use these dashes as something that I'm selecting. And I'm going to change the color to something that's still dark, but looks different from black. So I'm going to pick maybe a dark blue so that it'll change every other character here to a dark blue. Now on frame 2, I'm going to pick the opposite. So the L, the S, the S, the I, L, O, M, T, and R. And I'm going to try and find about the same color. So I'll pick another blue. So you can see that it will look like it is flashing because the illuminated and deluminated letters are switching. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this, and the best way to do that is if you select both frames. So you're going to click on one, hold Shift, and click on the other one, And then we can use the option drag. So option drag, and then it makes a duplicate. Now we can do option drag a few more times, but it becomes tedious. So what we're going to do is select a larger range, so click on frame 1, then hold shift, click on the last frame after you've got a couple copies, and then you can option drag the entire section. And that's a very quick frame by frame animation where it will be flipping back and forth. So I can play it, and then I can also test it in my test window. So this is a visual representation of how your Flash skills are growing. While they're not quite full yet, you are learning how to use more objects to do animation. So make sure you save this, and then you can move on to the next tutorial.